Aloha, this is Matt Darnell with ComTel.Cloud, like up in the sky. All the links I'm talking about today are right down there in the description. Feel free to take a look. First one here is you hate to say that piracy pays, that people do this, but my goodness, when you look at the numbers of this illegal streaming service that people had, when you talk about the money, so the site offered 2,500 live television channels. They had 22 million users. I mean, there's only like 9 billion people on the planet. That's a fairly large chunk of people there. I guess they were pulling in more than 250 million euros a month, and the euro's worth more than a dollar. So I don't know, it's a 260 million dollars a month, and it's crazy when you look at the numbers there. People paid about 10 euros a month for their subscription, and if they only had 30 servers, and I'm not, the IPTV device, that might be when because they have to pick up the signal from somewhere. So apparently they used all different kind of aliases and names, and they get an IPTV device in Romania, one in Sacramento, two in Frankfurt, pick up the local channel, send it to their servers. If they could accomplish that, even with 300 servers, and service 22 million people, there must have been some kind of peer-to-peer sharing, because if each connection was a unicast there, that's brilliant. They can use that for good. We need that. YouTube needs that. I mean, Amazon Prime streaming for their gosh darn Thursday night football games needs that technology. So the numbers are out there. We got to do something to make this more affordable for people. Sonic brand. This is something I am very scared of. Like my wife has a hybrid RAV4, and when you start it, I think it's under 30 miles an hour, it has to make a noise. It's an artificially created noise. There's a speaker, and to keep it, so if you're in a parking lot, if you're driving around somewhere slow, people will notice you. In the beginning, these EVs are so silent that people were just getting run over because they couldn't hear the car. They're looking at their phone, they're listening to music, they're just not paying attention because they don't hear the car. So this is about what sound should it play. So Toyota's going to have a sound, Tesla's going to have a sound, Chevy's going to have a sound, and talking about all the different things with EVs because they don't make noise. So my fear is, just kind of perverting this all the way out there, is let's say I've got an electronic, battery bike. It's a bike with the batteries on it, and you see kids running around with them all over today. Very easily on my mobile phone, I could have an app that has an accelerometer in that. So it can tell when I'm accelerating, when I'm cranking hard on the battery. Well, I could buy a $20 USB speaker, battery powered speaker, Bluetooth, and when I'm accelerating, have it try to sound like, a $80,000 Harley Davidson. It does not take a lot of money to ruin your neighbor's day. Have it there. So yeah, these kind of things. The great thing, the EVs are quiet, but now they put speakers in it. I mean, how long till they root it and they start playing their own music out of these things? Yeah. So this sonic branding, I think we're gonna get more and more, and it's just gonna be broken, and bad things for people like us. Okay, so start over. Microsoft, what is the problem? Well, first of all, you're trying to charge $4,500 for a little tablet and a speaker there. Yeah, I don't know if this if it came with this little game controller, and you could play Xbox games on it. But they were charging $4,500 for this, and it's got the little pencil on the side. And I get it. I'm not the target market. I'm not a creative. I'm not just gonna sit there and draw on my screen and have that. But that seems like a really niche market for that. So the Surface it is dead, and this was the competition because Apple's selling lots of iMacs. They're selling lots of Mac Studios with their $5,000 screen. So if that's not even a touch screen, you can't draw on it for the Mac. But I don't know what it is with Microsoft and hardware. Their mouse, their first mouse they came out with, gosh, that was in the 1900s. That was a fantastic mouse. It was serial port. I remember first time I got my first one dealing with IRQs and you had modems and all the different things fighting for the two IRQs that were available. And then they had the keyboard, that little had this I forget what it's called, but it was kind of humped in the middle. I still swear by that form factor for keyboards. But then things like the Zune, complete bust. I mean, the Studio Surface, even their tablets. I don't know why they can't do hardware. They have smart people, but they need to start over from the beginning. So here, if you are just a jingle creator, jingle as in music, I can't imagine that your job is going to be here very much longer. Unless you are doing complex beats, changing times, like going from 4/4 to another time, and in the beats and overlay with orchestra and having and cymbals coming in and out. I mean, complex music like what you see in professionally recorded that Kanye would put out, or Taylor Swift or Britney Spears, that kind of people. If you just write jingles for commercials, I would sharpen up that resume. If you go to a couple sites that let for free, you can do 2-3 songs a day. You just say, create a song about me and about how great is being tall. Make it a country song. Within a minute, there is 4 verses, a chorus. You can download just the MP3, or it'll give you an MP4, video file that has all the words in there. But yeah, it's these jobs are going to go. And if I just create little logos, I don't understand how you think you can still have that job in 5 years from now. So please, if this is what you do, definitely. You gotta be doing something else. You gotta tie it into something else. It just can't be the jingle, just can't be the picture, because this AI is getting so good and better every single day. So all these folks that are there, I mean, here the AI $4 billion in music coming up from zero point 0.1 billion there. So it's gonna be huge. So Google Chrome. So this judge wants to make Alphabet, which owns Google, is the parent company for Google, to sell Chrome, and they're saying it might be worth as much as $20 billion, just Chrome. And then you think, okay, why is that? Why could it be worth that much money? Why is it worth that much money to Google? Well, I actually just learned reading this article, and I confirmed it other places, but Chrome is the #1 browser, and there are different numbers. It's hard to know for that. Like this article says 61% of the market. I had just assumed that it was Edge because it came with Windows, but enough people are tired of Edge, and actually take that extra step to go and download Chrome, which is pretty amazing. So what's the value? When you look here, this here talks about Google's revenue stream. It's 55% is search advertising. I thought that they got a lot more from YouTube and their other advertising, but just search advertising. So on one side, they're really scared about AI, that ChatGPT and Copilot are going to eat their lunch because you won't need to Google things anymore. I remember when that first became a verb. I'm going to go Google this, kind of like Xerox, and I'm going to go Xerox this. Yeah, and what they want them to do is all this information they get from Chrome, they feed that into the ads. They want people, and that's under lock and key. I mean, that information is their biggest asset. They want them to either sell Chrome so other people get that information, or force Alphabet to license that information. Okay, we need some new ideas here. So this is talking about an Oregon Trail action comedy movie. And if I'm in my mid 50s, and Oregon Trail, I played that on an Apple II computer, loaded up on floppy disks there, and there's still a lot of places. If you just search online Oregon Trail, you'll be able to play it online, and basically you have to travel over the Oregon Trail during the summer, and you have decisions you make, like, do you want a spare wheel or do you want more food? And along the way, people get sick and you die, and it's just a kind of a fun little game, that even today it's kind of a step down below Zork for those people that remember that. Zork was a text-based Dungeons and Dragons-esque kind of game, but here they're talking about doing that, and we need some new ideas. I mean, it says action comedy. The guy that does Family Guy it was like 10,000 Ways to Die in the West, and it just it was funny for the first 10 minutes. Then okay, next, all right, it's joke kind of a thing. So we need some new ideas. Don't go ahead and ruin this for us. And I looked on IMDb. There's this other movie called Oregon Trail, but this is I don't. This is a different movie. This was rated R, and it seems like more of a horror kind of a thing. But and I had never heard of this movie. It was released in 2023. So this is definitely a different Oregon Trail. But yeah, come on, guys. We don't need to continue to remake old things and try to make them better. His last thing is this Tesla update. And I don't know how this works for Tesla. I don't own a Tesla, but does this go across all of the cars? Or is this, it's got a picture of a Cybertruck up in the top, but it just says 2024 holiday update. Like, are all of the cars still getting this update? Meaning, if I bought one of the very first Teslas whenever they first started coming out, am I priced out? Is there a CPU module I can change and upgrade my CPU so that I can use my same car, but a new CPU handle this kind of processing? But now, gosh, on this watch app, I mean, these are just so pretty cool. You can see how much mileage you have. Open the frunk, and that's got to be the front trunk. Let's use bonnet. Let's go back to I think the British people call it a bonnet. The frunk, I am not on board with that. But here, the Sentry mode, you can download the clips right there, which really is neat. This is, when you are parallel parking and, forward, then put it in reverse, go back, forward, back, and going back and forth. It'll shift for you between drive and reverse. I'm not exactly sure how it works. Probably takes a little coordination, but that makes a lot of sense. And then you can say, okay, when I get to where I want to go, this is how much energy I want to have. I want to be at 50%. And then really smart. And then there's one down here, and I'm assuming this is a joke, because they kind of, so you can be a Santa. That's not what I'm talking about. Boomerang Fruit, I don't know if that almost seems like it's like Fruit Ninja, but I mean, Fart on Contact, is that really an app that we have for our Tesla? I don't know. But again, this was Matt Darnell with ComTel.Cloud, cloud like up in the sky. We do weekly videos going over things we find in the news, and also all kind of tech reviews focused on VoIP and small business hardware and technology. So please give us a like, a subscribe, and all these links down there in the subscription. Aloha.